Most famous psychologist theories explained. Freud's psychoanalytic theory, the unconscious at work. Sigmund Freud's psychoanalytic theory revolutionized psychology by claiming that human behavior is driven by unconscious desires and early experiences. He divided the mind into three forces: the id, seeking instant pleasure, the ego, balancing reality, and the superego, enforcing morality. Most of our conflicts, Freud argued, come from the tension between these forces. When desires clash with social rules, the mind represses them, pushing them into the unconscious, where they influence dreams, habits, and even slips of the tongue. Through techniques like dream interpretation and free association, Freud revealed that much of what we do isn't rational at all. It's the unseen mind quietly steering every thought and action. But what if you're not driven by thoughts, just patterns? Behaviorism, conditioning, and control. Behaviorism, founded by John B. Watson and later expanded by B.F. Skinner, rejected the idea that thoughts or emotions explain behavior. Instead, it claimed that all actions are learned through conditioning, which is the direct link between stimulus and response. Behavior, they argued, is molded by reinforcement. Reward a habit, and it strengthens. Punish it, and it fades. Skinner proved this with his famous Skinner box, where pigeons learn to press levers for food. The same logic now powers modern therapy, classroom training, and even marketing. Behaviorism stripped psychology down to its simplest form: measurable reactions, revealing that much of what we call choice may actually be conditioning in disguise. After studying what breaks people, Maslow turned to what builds them. Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the drive toward fulfillment. Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs shifted psychology from pathology to potential. He believed every human strives towards self-actualization, the fulfillment of one's highest capabilities, but only after satisfying more basic needs. At the foundation are essentials like food, water, and safety. Above them come love, belonging, and esteem. Only when these layers are met does a person reach the top. Self-actualization, where creativity, morality, and purpose flourish. Maslow's model reframed motivation as a journey of growth rather than survival. It helped explain why people chase meaning, even when comfort is achieved, suggesting that the ultimate human drive isn't power or pleasure, it's becoming our truest possible selves. But before behaviorism took hold, one experiment changed learning forever. Pavlov's classical conditioning, the power of association. Ivan Pavlov's accidental discovery reshaped our understanding of learning. While studying digestion in dogs, he noticed they began salivating not at food, but at the footsteps of the lab assistant who fed them. Curious, Pavlov prepared a neutral sound, a ringing bell, with food delivery. Soon the bell alone caused the same reaction. This process, known as classical conditioning, showed that behavior could be learned through association. Pavlov's work became a cornerstone of behavioral psychology, revealing how patterns form unconsciously. From phobias to advertising, the principle remains everywhere. But understanding behavior wasn't enough. The real mystery was thought. Piaget's cognitive development, how thinking evolves. Jean Piaget shifted psychology's focus from behavior to the mind itself. Through years of observing children, he realized that intelligence grows in structured stages, from sensory exploration to abstract reasoning. In Piaget's view, a child isn't a smaller version of an adult, but a unique thinker, building knowledge through interaction and experience. Concepts like conservation, object permanence, and schema formation revealed that learning is an active process, not passive absorption. His ideas reshaped classrooms worldwide, encouraging teaching methods that match developmental readiness instead of forcing abstract logic too early. Piaget's legacy endures, because it revealed something profound. But beyond thought and logic lies something even more contagious: influence. Bandura's social learning theory. We imitate what we see. Albert Bandura revolutionized psychology by proving that learning isn't limited to direct experience. His famous Bobo doll experiment showed children mimicking aggressive behavior simply by watching adults act violently. Bandura called this observational learning, or the process of acquiring knowledge and habits through imitation. He introduced the concept of modeling, emphasizing how rewards, consequences, and even media representations shape behavior. What makes his theory powerful is its realism. People don't just react. They watch, interpret, and adapt. From parenting to marketing, Bandura's insights explain how actions spread and beliefs take root. His work ultimately bridged the gap between behaviorism and cognition, showing that human learning is deeply social. But imitation alone doesn't explain who we become over time. Erikson's psychosocial stages, the lifelong struggle for identity. Erik Erikson believed human development doesn't stop at childhood, it continues through life. Expanding on Freud's foundation, he proposed 8 psychosocial stages, each defined by a core conflict: trust versus mistrust in infancy, autonomy versus shame in early years, identity versus role confusion in adolescence, and so on. Each stage builds emotional resilience, or leaves unresolved tension that shapes future choices. Unlike Freud's focus on instinct, Erikson saw growth as a social journey. His theory reframed adulthood not as stability, but as continuous reconstruction. From career doubts to midlife crises, every challenge becomes another step in the lifelong task of becoming oneself. The inner conflict isn't just emotional, though. It rewrites our logic completely. Cognitive dissonance, the battle between beliefs and actions. Leon Festinger's theory of cognitive dissonance revealed one of psychology's most unsettling truths. It's that humans crave internal consistency, even at the cost of honesty. When actions and beliefs collide, the mind scrambles to restore harmony, often by rewriting the narrative. Someone who cheats just once might claim everyone does it. A smoker downplays health risks to feel in control. This mental tension fuels denial, rationalization, and moral compromise. Defense mechanisms that protect self-image but distort reality. Festinger's work exposed how discomfort drives self-deception, showing that people don't simply seek truth, they seek comfort in their truth. It's the invisible tug-of-war between logic and ego that silently shapes human decision-making. However, to truly understand behavior, we must decode personality itself. Milgram's obedience experiment, when authority overrides morality. Stanley Milgram's obedience experiment in the 1960s shocked the world, literally. Volunteers were instructed to deliver electric shocks to another person for every wrong answer. Yet over 60% continued to the highest voltage when urged by the authority figure in a lab coat. The study revealed a chilling truth. Ordinary people could commit harmful acts when following orders. It exposed how authority manipulates conscience. And though Milgram's test ended decades ago, the unsettling question remains: how much control do we really have over our own choices? Which of these psychology theories do you think shapes us the most? Let us know in the comments.